I'm just going to jump straight into it and say we've just done all the sales training and leadership training with your whole team. So if you wouldn't mind just telling us what your title is, what your role is at Australian Unity, and what made you even initiate any of this training specifically from a sales perspective.
The reason I was sort of looking at my sales teams when I first started here, and I was sort of thinking, gosh, we could really use your help in terms of your solution selling. So I think, the teams, I could see everybody was selling, but I could see that, there were issues with objection handling. When we look at, inquiries, where they're doing the proper needs analysis, where were the inquiries coming from? I needed to introduce more networking activity. And I was always thinking about different profiling of different customers, and how much I've learned from you regarding the different profiles and why people act that way, and is it a fact, is it a story? I really wanted to share that with the team, and I thought we've got a lot of people here who have a lot of sales experience, but we really wanted to fine tune their skills and and really focus on that solution selling.
From your experience and the anecdotal feedback and the written feedback that you've had from your team, what has that experience been like to convert everything virtually? The experience beforehand, the experience during, and the experience after?
It exceeded my expectations, Jackie. I have to take my hat off to you. We had, 32 people? We had, everybody was on this call. And what we loved about it was that everyone felt quite comfortable. They didn't feel, they felt that they were in a safe environment to speak. So you were able to move people around to those various breakout rooms and keep mixing people up. And pretty much everybody met everybody over the course of this training. And that was the feedback that they gave me. They said that they felt that it worked the best way because they actually had, they had interaction with everybody, and they didn't think that possibly may be the case if it was in person. And sometimes in person, certain personalities come out a little bit stronger, and so the quiet ones will just sit back and just wait, and and then they come back in the room and I'll let that person talk. But the way you brought them all together and mixed them all up, you have this magical way of mixing them up, and everybody had a chance to say something. Everybody felt empowered. Everybody felt important. So the feedback was better than what I had ever hoped. They said it was fabulous. They met everybody. It was great to meet people from all different departments, not just sales. Actually worked better. And in fact, I will probably take this version moving forward. I think this is the best way for us to interact.
On that note, what do you think we actually did achieve? At the end of the day, when you look back, what would you say has been the ultimate achievement for the team? What do you believe have been the best takeaways for your team?
The bird profiling, understanding the various profiles that of various people, and understanding that why they behave in certain ways, and how to speak to someone of a certain personality type, and then understanding themselves what kind of personality type they are. So the way understanding why they process information the way they do, and how they speak as opposed to someone else. So that's been extremely valuable. The stated and unstated needs has been, again, a vital tool in understanding, what people really need, and then looking under the iceberg, looking at and understand and linking in the personality profiling to those unstated needs. Light bulbs were going off, Jackie, I have to say. The power poses, we, especially in both in all of our retirement living and aged care, you're dealing with quite, some quite powerful personalities. And so sometimes, salespeople can be a little bit nervous, speaking to someone who seems a little bit more upfront, or they've got to make that phone call and they're dreading it. So they're doing their power poses now. They're doing this and they're doing that. And they're telling me that they're actually feeling empowered when they pick up that phone. Is it a fact or is it a story? Everybody could relate to that, because how many stories do we make up in our head? Oh, they're thinking this and they're thinking that. Actually, no, they're not. Is it a fact or is it a story? So, and that's something that I've been using myself, but I use more now because they understand where I'm coming from. The why we're doing what we're doing, bringing it back to the why. That's also something that make everybody think about what gets them going in the morning, why do they do what they do, and then having their own mission statement. We finished it off with the mission statement. And already I visited the next day after our last workshop. I visited Susanna at Con Hill, and she had her mission statement written, printed out, and stuck on her monitor. Really impressive stuff, Jackie. You can hear it in their voices. You can hear it in their language. They use some of the language that they've learned. They're applying things that they've learned that they could resonate with. And the power of your workshops was that it was a continuous revision of what we learned during the sessions, and also bringing it into the everyday. So they had to think about it. They had their homework to do. They had to think about, what is. How is this? How can I implement this? And then that's what I did, and then sort of relaying it back, in at the workshop and sharing what they've done, what they've learned, and how they've used it. So I think initially, as all sales training, people are like, oh, here we go, more sales training. But by the end, it's not even by the end of it. By the end of the first session with you, people realise just what a goldmine they've tapped into, and how lucky they are to get this training, and they're extremely grateful. My team are extremely grateful for Australian Unity to be investing in them, and we're grateful to you for providing just such an exceptional workshop and training session. Your solution selling workshop you can resonate in all different areas.
That is so wonderful to hear, and so reassuring and reaffirming to hear, Kath. What would you say your decisions are for next steps to keep that retention, to keep that momentum, to keep that engagement that you've achieved with the team? What are your plans for keeping that alive?
Oh, our dialogue continues. I'm going to refer back to your website with all of your videos. You have a huge library of videos and tools on your website that we can utilize as well. I'm going to be picking topics and having sort of monthly workshop sessions with the team. We also, it's something that we're all basically, working together, using in our day-to-day. So working through and sharing what we've learned and how we use it. It's like a muscle. Unless you use it, you can lose it. So we're just going to continue that dialogue. And as in my role, that's my commitment to the team and to Bev, our EGM, that I will ensure that we keep developing our all of the skills that we've learned from you, as well as hopefully we can add to that as well.
I'm so grateful to hear that, because as you know, my motto is it's not about the wedding, it's about the marriage. So it's what we do afterwards that really, really counts. So Kath, I so appreciate that feedback and really getting some insight into what your team got out of it. Thanks a million. So good to chat to you.